All good? Sweet. All right, I'm Brian. I'm here with Gabriel
Yeah, man.
and Gustavo. Cool. And they've agreed to answer a few questions today. So, have either of you heard of the Yulin Dog Meat Festival in China?
No. That's something new for me. No.
Haven't heard of it? So basically it's a festival that happens in China, not every day, but it happens like once a year or more. And it's where they kill mass amount of dogs to eat them.
All right.
Yeah. So even stray dogs and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
Man, that's the thing. I think it's a really delicate like topic because I've heard about like this thing. I didn't know the name, the festival.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm against that because I love pets.
Yeah.
All the dogs and if you stop to think about it, like it's something like for us, I think probably you'd say like it's a bit cruel, but at the same time, it's something that is in their culture, I would say. So I think it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard, like for someone like in my culture, for us that would be like something completely terrible to do. But like, who am I to say like, oh man, what are you doing? That's complete wrong. But in the culture, it's right. Of course, like in my opinion, that's something wrong. I never would kill like a dog, you know.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like that's pretty hard to say like, oh, you guys complete wrong. What are you doing? I don't agree. Yeah, definitely not. So probably in their culture, I would say yeah, that might be fine, but not for me. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Do you have anything you would like to add to that, or do you agree? Yeah. Cool. So you mentioned culture a lot there.
Yeah.
Do you think the law determines ethics?
No, I don't think so. And the reason why is because ethics, I think, is something because I probably think it's the way you're raised. So maybe indirectly, yes, I would say maybe, but your ethics is probably like the way the way your parents like raised you. So let's say if you live like like in society where you cannot kill someone, right? But maybe your parents like they're like crazy bastards, right?
Yeah.
They tell like his son, it's completely normal. Like there's no problem if you want to kill someone.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like the way that the kid was raised, was with like saying like, oh, it's fine if you want to kill someone. There's not a problem. It's the same thing in China, like where like they kill dogs. So I would say yes, like the laws, like they have like a big influence on the the ethics of everybody. But I think ethics like goes like deeper than that. It's not just really about the laws, but yeah, I think for sure. I think the laws like sort of like there's a big influence as well. Yeah.
Cool. Do you feel that your upbringing can lead you to do unethical things, but you're not aware of that being unethical and you think it's normal? So you don't know it's unethical, but it's still unethical that you're doing it.
Yeah, I think that's I think you're right because the thing is sometimes you'll be doing something, but in your mind, in your perception, that thing's complete right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then for someone else, they would see that like it's like, oh, what are you doing, man? That's not ethical at all. But then in your mind it is, and that's the thing. I think that's for the circumstances that you are in. So as you said, so thinking that way from that perspective, I would say for like the laws would completely have like a strong influence, not your ethical things and the way like the way you're raised as well, but but it's something really delicate to say because that's the thing, like what like's right for me might be like complete wrong for you. That's
Okay, so just a fantasy scenario. You're in a country where they eat dogs.
Okay.
And they legally allowed to kick and beat dogs, right?
All right.
And you're walking down an alleyway and it's you, another guy, and he's kicking the dog. Yes or no, would you try and stop him from hurting that dog's screaming in pain? Would you try and stop him?
All right. That's the thing. I think my first reaction, yes, I would probably, because things like that you don't think straight. You just like it's your first reaction is like, oh fuck, what are you doing? Hey, stop it. But then I think once you stop and think about it, hey, I'm not really in my country here, so I'm in a place where they allow, like the people to do that.
Yeah.
So I think probably my first reaction would come to my mind like, oh, I'm gonna do that. But then you have to know where you are as well, because if I do that, what's the consequences for me? What's gonna happen to me? Can I go to jail if I do something like that? If I try to stop, so probably I wouldn't be in a place like that, knowing something like that's probably like there's a few places probably in the world that I wouldn't, like a lot of people, they will say like, oh, it's a beautiful place, but maybe for the circumstances there, the way the people, like, in the culture, maybe I wouldn't be really able to go, because I wouldn't be able to see something happen in front of me like that, like just like, the way you put it, and not doing nothing. So it's pretty, I would say, probably I think I wouldn't do anything, because I know for where I am, it's right to do, even if it's not, in my perception, it's completely wrong. Yeah. So probably I wouldn't never go to that place. That's the first thing. I wouldn't go. Yeah, that's.
So if you were in that situation, you'd know that it's ethically wrong, but you want to intervene because of the repercussions, but not because of the actual legality or how you feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You would first. I think when you do something, you just think like what is right or wrong. So you just go and do it. And most of the times they would have a repercussion, as you said, but something that you're not even expecting. So let's say it's the same thing, like, someone gets in your house and you're not expecting for that, and then suddenly what happens is like, oh, someone's in my house, bang, you like just kill the person, you're not even thinking. It's like, oh, someone was in my house, probably like a thief or whatever, bang, done. But then for sure after that you will have consequence of all that, and that's the thing, you will not really think. I think that's what we believe, our beliefs in what we think is right or wrong. That's probably what guide us to take a decision. And most of the times we don't really think, we don't see the whole we don't include the whole scope. That's the thing. We don't really see like, oh, if I do that, that's exactly. You don't see the whole picture. Exactly. So that's why you see so many times, like when you're watching TV, you see something that you say like, oh, this person like killed someone, like as I said, like, oh, because this person like just got broke into his house, but now this guy is in jail for, I don't know, 10 years, and then you might say like, oh yeah, that's right, he killed someone, but the other group of people they might say, hey, that's completely wrong, like someone just broke into his house, so he did the right thing.
True.
So I think the way we act is always like, you don't really think, especially situations that you don't have enough time to think. You're not gonna be like, someone be in your house, you're not gonna like, let me think here, what am I gonna do? No, you're gonna just gonna do it.
Heat of the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's say the laws in Australia and possibly Brazil change. I don't know what they eat mostly in Brazil, but in Australia and Brazil, and the laws change so that we could legally eat dog meat in Australia, and people were saying it tastes so good, gotta try it. Would you try it?
No way, right? No way, man. No way. I wouldn't try. I would probably, because that's sort of thing. I think like me, well, we would have like a group of people against that. And for sure, I would be with like this group of people.
You stand with those people trying to stop it.
Yeah. So like I would for sure being like this group of people saying like, hey, Australia, what are you doing? You're like out of your mind. We are not eating dogs here. Are you crazy? So I would probably trying to, because and we see that already. We see so many things happen. Like sometimes like this small group of people against something. Like let's say, all right, the sea life, right? Like you see all those guys like fishing, and they fish like such a, like, I know when they go to fish tuna, for example, they have those massive nets, and it's not just tuna, it's like it's the whole the sharks, like dolphins, they kill like so much, and we are indirectly, if you go and buy it in the supermarket, you are contributing, so you're part of this as well. And it's really dedicated, because like you are contributing for something sometimes you don't even know. So a lot of the times I think there's no knowledge. It's there for everybody to access, but sometimes we are just lazy, like, oh, just eat it. But sometimes like you just need someone to say, hey, did you know that? And then that's what happened to me, like even like this example. So I used to buy this specific like tuna, and then suddenly then like someone told me like, oh, watch this video. check it out, check what they do. And then I was like, whoa, that's completely wrong. I don't want to be part of this. So what can I do to not, to not be part of that?
Yeah.
So the thing is, I know I'm just one number, but now like I try to check like the companies like how they do that. Oh, it's just like like a fishing line that's different. They're not really like it's not that aggressive to the seas, like to the sea life. But that's the thing, like I'm doing something, it's really small, but I think it's already something to help against that, but I think it's still not enough, like, and I think something that would happen, that's probably like, I think maybe some people they would think, oh yeah, dogs meat is perfect, but the other group would be like, oh, that's completely wrong. And I'll be for sure with this group of people.
So you don't eat seafood now, or you limit, or you're careful about where you buy it?
Yeah, I'm just aware about like things that I'm buying now. So like because I have like Australian I have like a vegetarian girlfriend, right?
Oh, okay.
That's the thing, and she's one of like the reasons why, for example, like even plastic bags, I know the supermarkets, they don't provide that anymore. But before I met her, I used to like, no, plastic bags, that's it. And then one day she's like, yo, what are you doing? I say, what? Just plastic bags. I say, yeah, but like, did you know, like, using that, like you're not gonna really recycle that. It's just like that's a massive rubbish, like to the ecosystem. And what you're doing just affecting like in a such like you are contributing to fuck the world. That's exactly what you were doing. So because of that, like because I never really stopped to check, it's like, oh, that's wrong, so what can I do? So then I started to use like those just like the bags that you can use like over and over again. But yeah, that's the thing. I think the thing is we have so like knowledge is so easy to access knowledge, to like information. It's just there. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of the things that are manipulated as well. So sometimes it's hard, like should I believe that? Is this really true or not? So yeah, I think back to your like ethics and everything. Based on that, you try to now take the decision like to choose like what is wrong and what is right. So I'm gonna choose the right thing.
That's an excellent answer. So like, based on new knowledge, if there's an alternative to something like plastic or eating fish, you would choose the alternative? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would choose that probably. Yeah. So that's the thing. But at the same time, I think we cannot be like just because we have the knowledge, like the information, like, oh, that's better for you guys, so do that because this way you'll be helping such and such, whatever. But wait a minute, like just double check that, because sometimes like people that are saying here to you like, oh, do that. Like the other day I was watching the video and the guy was saying like, oh, drink beer because beer is really good for you. It is, I know beer is good, but at the same time, like I was watching the video, like even my girlfriend was telling me like, oh yeah, like you see that's really good, yeah, keep drinking. So yeah, I really like beer, I still drink every day, like at least one bottle of beer. But who can really know? I'm not sure if it's like the beer's company went to this guy, this doctor, say like, hey man, here's like some money, can you please tell everybody the beer's amazing? So that's the thing, like it's pretty hard, like it's nowadays, like I know we have the easy access to the information, but at the same time we don't know like if it's really like 100% true, like, and I think sometimes it's just like half true, so yeah.
Cool. Thank you. More into ethics, because you brought out the environment, like different animals, like sea life, and obviously dogs. So, and you said you believe in contributing to the kinder option if there's an alternative, if you're able to do something else. So you two, so you like animals? You said, yeah, you're an animal lover, yeah.
I am, but that's the thing. I'm not an example at all.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna say like, oh, I'm doing the best thing now. I do a lot of things wrong, and I know that. But I think a lot of the times we don't really have we always have the option, but I think the way society is, it's pretty hard, like you go against, some of the rules. I eat meat, okay?
Yeah.
And I know the industry.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I mean, I know that a lot of sometimes the eat that I'm eating, sometimes like, it's really cruel with the animals. So it's a bit, but that's the thing again. But if I know like, oh, wait a minute, like, is it that bad? Is it really that bad? Okay, it is. Okay, but do I have other option? I do. Oh, I have this option here. Okay, this one might be better. I don't want to. So that's the thing. At the same time, they are not, like, as I told you, not contributing to this, like, terrible thing, like, of the sea life for some companies. At the same time, I am contributing, like, with other companies. Because sometimes you just, like, you find yourself completely stuck. You can't really, like, it is hard. It is hard. Like, I'm not saying, that's the thing. I'm not saying, like, oh, I do everything perfect now. I don't. I don't.
Well, I mean, I'm not a vegetarian myself, but you said your partner's a vegetarian.
She is, yeah.
So would you feel that if she's, like, pretty much living proof you can be a vegetarian and survive in Australia or Brazil or whatever, does that make you feel like maybe you could be a vegetarian like her, if it's proof that there's an alternative to killing animals like pigs and cows and stuff too, I suppose?
Yeah, maybe, I would say. The thing is that I think it's really like a mindset, because I don't eat meat that much, we were actually talking about that just minutes like before you guys came, and that's the thing, like I don't really eat meat like as I used to, and sometimes I stop like and think like, but why like do I really need to eat meat? I like the taste, and that's the thing, like we sometimes choose what is easier, and we choose what is like it's what's easier for us to access as well. So that's the thing, like as a human being, like there's so much to learn and develop. And again, for a lot of things I have the knowledge, but I did wrong, like in my conception. I know a lot of things like you would do, let's say, like even if you smoke like cigarette, for example, right? I don't smoke, but if you smoke, I'm pretty sure like that's not good for your health. But so what do you do
You're
then?
the only victim in that situation, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's against you, and that's the thing. Like I think is that's your point as well, because I think that's the point, because when it involves something else, not just you, and
you're the only one suffering.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a few things, because you guys are clearly open-minded, and so it's like obviously because we've done something a certain way our whole life, it doesn't mean we have to. Because you brought up the sea life, right? Around the world, we kill over 2.5 trillion wild marine animals every year. So it's like billions every single day just getting scooped up. And because of that, the environmental impact, we're going to have fishless oceans in less than 30 years at the rate we're going. And that's going to be very bad for our planet. And that's another thing to do with, animal agriculture and stuff. We actually... have a guess. How many land animals do you think we kill every single year for food? Any number. You don't have to be right. This is just a random guess.
I don't know. Really? I don't know. 3? I don't know. 1 billion maybe. Yeah. Maybe more than that. Like 3 billion maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
You think about the same?
Yes.
The most recent study is 70 billion land animals. 70, almost 100 billion, and that's with marine life and land animal life combined, that's over 8 billion roughly animals every day.
Every day.
So the original figure that I looked into for land animals was 260 million a day. So it's 3,000, 6,000, 9,000, 12,000, 15,000 just dying that rapidly, but now it's in the billions, which is pretty astronomical. But the thing I feel like might click with you two the most, animal agriculture, like land animals, because of all the space we've got to clear to feed those animals and have space for them to graze.
So it's not just like read about the...
It's a leading cause of deforestation. And guess what? The biggest impact of deforestation around the world, 80% of the deforestation in Brazil is from animal agriculture.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Over 90% of the Amazon is from animal agriculture.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say it's like soybeans and stuff. Nearly all the world's soybeans gets fed to animals like pigs and chickens. So when we buy those animal products, as you made clear, we are supporting that industry that's messing up our planet, killing tens of billions and trillions of different animals, wiping out our rainforests, clearing out our oceans. But you guys didn't seem to be aware of those figures when I was pointing them out.
Not at all.
So
I could imagine it was like a massive number, but not really that.
Because we got 7.5 billion people on this planet, right? And if you notice how much like food gets thrown out at McDonald's and stuff like that, at the end of the day, they waste it. They go through like nothing. And it's not just the animals that we eat, but it's also things like in the egg industry, when they're laying more chickens to lay eggs, half those chicks are going to be males. And how many eggs do male chicks give? Ever? None. so they're considered a waste product. So on the first day of their life, especially in Australia, they'll end up on a conveyor belt that gets fed down into a giant blender, and they get macerated alive on the first day of their life just because they're boy. And that's millions just going bam bam all over the world too. Like they get suffocated in plastic bags and stuff. Dairy industry, really similar too. They take the male calf away from the mother, so obviously so we can take their milk, but because the bobby calf can't produce milk, so he's considered a waste product too. And he becomes, have you heard of veal? It's a baby cow that's been killed because it's a waste product. Yeah, that's in just Australia, 700,000 a year, just Australia. Imagine the global scale. And there's some figures are so big they can't even count them. It's like the marine life. The 2.5 trillion is an estimate because there's so many. They weigh it because there's just so much. So they can't keep the figures because they're not going to count the 100,000 fish in that one net, or the dolphins or whatever. So after hearing that, knowing that you guys potentially, like I used to, are contributing to those issues with your money, when we do have alternatives like fruits and vegetables and vegetarian, vegan food or whatever it might be, you can literally save a life just by going like that and grabbing something else when you go shopping and going, you know what, I'm against this. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. There are alternatives, and I do care about animals and our planet. And I might have been doing this my entire life, but do I want to keep doing it?
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you always have the as I said, like you always have the option, have the two options to do it or not to do it. And that's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Like and I think is for every change in life, most of the times, most of the time it's not like that. Like in one day, and I'm happy with myself, because I know there's a lot of things that I still have to, that I could do better. But at the same time, I know my meat consumptions is way less than it used to be.
Yeah.
So, but still, that's the thing. I'm not against you kill an animal, because it's sort of things in our nature. But I think the way the industry does, that's completely wrong, because it's just, time is money. That's what it is, and as you were saying, exactly with the numbers you were saying. So let's seriously, we don't need that.
Yeah.
So and I think that's really the point. I think the way we do, that's wrong, and maybe try to change.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what about in the instance that all the animals are grass-fed, big open meadowy fields, and there's actually not enough space on the planet to do that? But if that was the instance, do you think it'd still be wrong? They're getting belly rubs every single day, then the big grass meadowy field, but you still have an alternative to killing them at the end, because they're still in captivity, their babies still get taken away, and they still end up with a knife in the throat. Is it really right if you don't have to do it?
You're saying if the treatment was
even if the treatment was as best as it possibly could be, and they'd still get their babies taken from them, and they'd still end up in a slaughterhouse, but you still have mountains of fruits and vegetables to eat instead, and other food that'll keep you healthy. Just do you think it's all right to kill that animal if it's not necessary?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If you really you would say it's not right, because you have other options. That's the thing again. You have you could eat those vegetables that would keep you you would have all the the nutrients that you need, and probably I think we could do that. Yeah.
I guess just a couple more questions, but for both of you, if there's a victim involved, being the animal, what is worth more to you when you make your choice every day? Your taste or that animal's life?
Yeah, the animal's life. Yeah, for sure.
Animal's life, I think it is.
Yeah. Have you heard of have you guys heard of the term vegan before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on veganism now, hearing those points now? So some vegans might seem extreme, but what's more extreme, right? People trying to save animals or killing animals when we don't need to?
Oh, absolutely. People killing animals that we don't need to.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah.
I think the same.
Same thing, yeah.
And that's the thing. That I think that I had friends who are vegan, and they I never thought because one friend she told me once when you were talking about this vegan, and she was the thing is, it's not about you. That's the thing. It's not about you. It's not about the because I think my question was but it is hard, right? It's hard because everything that comes from animals, you don't really. It's no. The thing is, it is simple when you stop thinking that it's like, oh, it's not about you, it's not about the animals, it's about someone else. And that's exactly, I think, what you're saying. I think once you change, like, your perspective, the way you see anything, like, oh, hey, what I mean, it's not really about, like, as you're saying, about the taste. It's about, like, oh, so I'm really gonna do that. I'm really gonna kill an animal to have, like, really, nice meal, like, yeah, that's the thing. You always have the option. So, yeah.
It's like on average we eat like 3 times a day, and each meal we choose to kill one or save one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think you'd consider looking into veganism now more after having this chat today?
Yeah. It's what you told me. It's not something like the numbers. Like, yeah, I didn't know specific the numbers, but for the fact that I have, like, vegetarian girlfriend, so she's the one, like, is always keep, like, bringing those things to me, and I think I've sort of, like, walking towards, like, to change.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like, I know that's what I'm saying. I'm not perfect, and it is not about to be perfect. It's not that, but it's about really to just, like, to wake up and do it. And yeah, for sure. I think as like you, there's a lot of people doing, like, working on that, like, working, like, to try to, like, bring the information to the rest of, like, the world. Say, like, hey guys, like, and nowadays you have, like, so many, like, documentaries as well that you can watch that, like, bring you, like, it's gonna bring numbers and bring, like, statistics and everything that about, like, what we are doing, the way we are affecting the world. And it's still, that's the thing, because I'm telling that, like, not based on anyone else, I'm based, like, on myself, because I've seen things like that, and I still do. But less, because that's the thing. I think once you know about it, you're gonna think twice.
Yeah.
At least that.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it, but I will think twice. Like, oh, really gonna do that? Because then you just have to, all right, like, I'm part of this. Like, I'm part of, like, I'm killing animals as well. And that's the thing. We cannot just say, like, oh, it's not. No, I'm not doing it. Of course, yeah, I am doing it. Unfortunately, but I'm working on, like, to get better and to, like,
Just imagine if you went home to your vegetarian girlfriend and said, "Hey babe, I'm vegan," and you beat her to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Gabriel.
And thanks so much.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a nice chat. Yeah.
Thanks, Gustavo. Would you guys like to say something in your home language to the camera? Anything you want about the message or anything
About
you
the
feel?
message?
And anyone who watches it that's from Brazil,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get to hear
yeah.
what you want to say. Just say anything you like.
Gustavo.
Your turn.
Português,
your
man.
language.
Português.
Português só vire vegetariano. Uma nova fase, mudança.
Com certeza. Eu acho
Yes.
que o vegetarianismo hoje em dia, eu acho que ele pode pode contribuir, né, com o mundo e ajudar.
Matar menos animais, né?
Matar, yeah, exatamente.
Agora que a gente-
Kill less animals, at least that.
Yeah. Cool. Save as many lives as we can, hey?
That's
yeah.
it.
Cool.
Right, thank you, man.
Thanks again,
yeah,
brother.
it was nice
Appreciate
chat,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
likewise.
That's nice.
Thank
But
you.
it's really so funny because 1 hour ago I told him about this.
Yeah.
When I come to Australia, I started the vegetarian because in Brazil I do a yoga.
Oh, cool.
But when I went here, I think to do a course. But when you do yoga, no only exercise, you need to think about what you eat,
Yeah.
what your practice all days.
Yeah.
But when I started to eat the vegetables, I changed my customers. But because in Brazil I ate meat every day,
Yeah.
but here I stopped.
Awesome.
But my friend, why do this? But because I believe this. I believe in yoga. I believe in vegetarian because how do I say? Você é o que você come.
Yeah, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
If
true.
you're putting, like, well, I don't think it's healthy for us, but putting that pain and suffering into our body, or that, what kind of effect that could have on you. I don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
your spiritual beliefs are, but
But that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. How can I check?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
man. Yeah, man.
So online, I'm vegan life change.
Oh, that's nice, man. Vegan
Life change.
life.
Do you are vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm a
have
hard
you have
people,
to be,
really.
man.
The vegetarian I understand, but stopping to eat eggs for me
Yeah.
is different because I work out and how do you say? Como fala nutricionista.
A nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't need eggs.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
A costume, you know?
Yeah.
It's expensive to.
Well, think about this, right? What's beef like? $10
Because
a
in
kilo.
Brazil, so
Yeah.
difficult. Because in Brazil,
How much
you
potatoes
export-
and rice?
No, here so cheap, bro.
Yeah.
$2.
What about Brazil? Same thing, right?
No, in Brazil.
It's pretty
so-
expensive. Everything actually.
Is there
now,
any
yeah.
what carrots?
Oh yeah.
Carrots, broccoli, apples.
Yeah.
No, but
Expensive.
To be honest, like in Brazil right now, everything's expensive
Yeah.
anyway. So
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
but yeah, if you
Might as
compare
well
the
get
price, yeah.
kinder version of
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And think of your health too. Like, so saturated fat only exists in animal products. And if you eat fruits and vegetables, you just get healthy fats.
Yeah.
And you're getting good protein and all that sort of stuff. So you won't get sick as much. I haven't been. I've had one cold in 3 years. It's because I kissed a girl and had a cold.
Or like the question, like like this I used to like date this girl and she was vegan, right? And she told me like the problem. Yeah, I check it all the time. And she told me like the problem. They were like, I don't eat meat, but she said if I would like have my chicken here, like plenty of chickens, I wouldn't mind like for me to go and kill myself and eat it. I was like, oh, okay. That was like that's what she told me. I was like, oh, okay. Because the thing is, she was against the industry, the way they do.
Yeah.
But she wasn't really against like to kill the animal
Oh, okay.
herself. But she's like, I don't eat meat at all. And that's the question. But not like to kill the animal, but if you have like your own chicken there, and the eggs, that will be alright.
For me, ultimately, it just comes down to necessity. So it's like, why would I kill that chicken when I know I can go get some fruit and
But like
veggies?
just the eggs.
The eggs? Yeah,
No,
I mean it's better than paying the industry to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't hate on anyone who does this, gets the eggs from their pet chicken. But I do wonder where that chicken came from and what they supported by getting that chicken. And I
Okay.
also wonder how that chicken feels when you go in and take her eggs away from her. You never know, right?
Yeah.
She could be like, that's my baby. She could be thinking that. You don't know. They're not as smart as us. But the things that I know they've got is feelings. And
Yeah.
what's going through her head when I've just gone,
Yeah.
it's mine now.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I used to think the same thing.
Yeah, right. Like, that's the thing. Like, because I'm saying because I really don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you would be alright or not. But I see now. I see your point.
Ultimately, it just comes down to necessity. People will go for like 3 weeks without food and they survive. There's people who do intermittent fasting, eat one big meal a day, and it's like, do I really need to, like say you're hungry in the morning? It's like, man, I'm hungry. I could go buy some fried eggs from Macca's or something, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna get food at lunchtime. There might be nothing else around, which is really rare anyway.
Yeah.
And when you get used to being a vegan too, you meal prep or where everything is. I know I can walk in a Woolies here and buy a bunch of bananas and feel good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
A watermelon or a pineapple or
That's
oranges
true, yeah.
or
That's really what it is. Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, man. Thanks so
again.
much for that, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time,
yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Can I give you just some information to have a bit of a read? If you want to take a look?
absolutely.